the icing on the cake with a triple. Sure, Mabry, the dagger, boom!
Nicholson, the go-ahead bucket. Townsville complete the comeback of the season.
Our Round 9 doubleheader continues here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. It's the Townsville Fire hosting the ladder-leading Adelaide Lightning. Liam Ellison here alongside three-time WNBL champion Steph Litzarv. Steph, welcome, and what a game we've got in store this evening.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things, 1v2, so we should have a great game on our hands.
Both teams coming into this game having taken the win in their last game. Of course, the Fire did it in emphatic fashion, coming from 20 points down against the Boomers to win by 2. How did you see that one, Steph?
Well, if you're coming back from 20 points down against a team with the quality players they have of Melbourne Boomers, you must be doing something right. So, yeah, that's absolutely fantastic for a comeback like that.
What sort of confidence do you think that's going to build coming into a game like this in front of, your home fans in a big new stadium?
Yeah, it definitely builds the momentum. So if they had a lost a close game like that, so they've come back and had the loss, it might not have had the momentum swing that they would have liked. But if you get that big win and then you're coming in with the extra added presence of the fans of Townsville, and everyone knows if you play at Townsville, it's like having a sixth man on the court because the crowd is so just loud and about the team. So I think they're going to be using that to their advantage today.
Were there any players who really caught your eye in that win against the Boomers?
I don't think you can go past Lauren Nicholson. She had a killer game and she won Player of the Round. So she's had a bit of a back seat with the two great imports that they have, Sutton and Billings. She hasn't really done what we know she can do, but it was just good to see the old Loz back.
Speaking of Billings, I mean, she's been unreal, leading the team and scoring 16 points per game. Talk me through her game for WNBL fans who haven't seen her play before.
So she's just a power player. She's great, really strong inside the key. The only issue that she's had a couple of games is her fouls. Because she's so strong and so powerful, she gets in foul trouble quite a lot. So if she can control that, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Adelaide, meanwhile, they're on a 4-game win streak coming into this game. They haven't lost since their opening game of the season. Do you think they've got sort of the tools to go make a deep playoff run?
I think they do. They have a really good starting 5, just really powerful. They have Steph Talbot, Abby Warung, Alana Smith, Williams and Shook. So if you looked at that starting 5, it would be very intimidating if you're matching up against them. So if they can keep those 5 healthy, and then they have some great people coming off the bench in Chelsea Brook, who's also another big, and the young gun Sam Simons. They have the potential and the personnel to go pretty far.
We've got plenty of WNBA talent out there as well, the Lightning. How have you seen the debut WNBL season of our own Alana Smith, who's back in the country for, the first time in a while?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming because we thought she was coming back and then she had an injury. And then it just was never to happen. So it's good to see her in the league now and actually see what she can do.
Starting 5s, Talbot, Smith, Werung, Williams and Shook. Steph, which matchup are you most looking forward to this evening?
There's a lot of good matchups that I think are in this, especially with these two teams. But definitely Loz Nicholson and Steph Talbot, I think, will be a great matchup to watch because they're similar height, similar type of player, and they're very physical and they're going to be going at each other. So I can't wait to see that one.
Both there on Monday as well at the Opals camp, those two. It's Sutton, Nicholson, Mia Murray, Zatina Rakuzo and Billings are our starters for the Fire. Steph, do you have a tip for this evening?
We all know that I'm a terrible tipper, so I'm going to steer clear of it and I'm going to leave it up to you today.
Gee, it's a tough one to pick. Two serious contenders. I'll go the Fire on their home floor. I think they bat pretty deep this evening. And Shannon Seabohm as coach as well. I mean, that always helps.
It does, and he's been so successful everywhere he's gone. And being a point guard in his playing days and then coming into being a coach, it's really done well for him because he's quite a smart guy and he knows how to run a team.
Of course, grand finalists last year, the Fire. Do you think there any chance of repeating that effort? Maybe even going one better?
Yeah, well, they definitely have the potential to do it. And as I've been saying this season, if they keep themselves healthy, they have every chance at winning it this season.
They're celebrating Michaela Cox breaking the all-time games record tonight for the Townsville Fire. Big crowd in attendance here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. So we see the starters get ready to go. Great atmosphere here.
I think we might give a little shout out to Marina Whittle as well today, because it is her birthday, so I'm sure she's hoping for a win for that momentous occasion.
Happy birthday, Marina. Let's see if any luck falls her way tonight. Well, here we go.
And it's nice to see so many fans in the stands.
Yeah.
In these uncertain times, it's great to have so many people coming out to the games.
It's always great up here in Townsville. Here we go, Alana Smith to contest the tip, along with Akuzo. Friday night basketball in Townsville. Adelaide come up with the first tip. Kiana Williams will start things off for Adelaide. Fans on their feet here. Hoping to start things off with a stop for the home team. Talbot hands it off to Smith, missing on the lay-in. Williams, second chance.
I think that's just a little bit too open for Alana Smith there.
Uncharacteristic error. Turnover the other way, so Adelaide will get another go. Billings nearly got a hand on it. Both teams look a little bit nervous here early days.
Yeah, just a little bit of butterfingers happening, a little bit of fumbles.
Sutton hands it off for Nicholson, who was great last game. Comes around the Akuzo screen. Another turnover. Finally off the shin of Billings. See if Adelaide can settle things down here.
It's almost as if both teams just need to take a big breath, just take their time.
Werung now slowing things up. Tries to hand it off to Shook. So again, both teams just really up and about here early days. Nicholson hands it back to Sutton. She's running out of real estate. Talbot did well. Get to hand in. Comes up with a steal, missing on the lay-in. Townsville kick it out. Rocky opening 2 minutes for both teams. Sutton hesitates, drives left. Smith did well. Akuzo with the O-board, flips it back up. Sutton fighting well above her height range there against Kylie Shook.
And it seems as though there's been glad wrap put over the rings today. No one can buy a basket so far this game.
It has been like that. Already 5 turnovers combined between both teams. Werung pulls up at the elbow. Smith crashing the glass. Fresh 14 for the Lightning. Now Werung to the rack, finds her space and gets the first bucket home for Adelaide. Akuzo at the high post. Smith did really well. Got a fingertip on that. Now Talbot wide open, transition 3. Billings pulls it down for Townsville. Werung walling up on Nicholson. Smith, another rejection, back to back. Reaching foul on Murray.
And Smith's done well to just follow the ball and pick up a couple of early blocks in this game.
Back-to-back rejections, see it again there. Hands it off to Talbot, the reigning MVP. Shook Baseline J. Sutton and Akuzo combined for the rebound. Neither team can buy a bucket at the moment. Nicholson steps into a three, a touch strong. Billings crashing the glass. She draws the foul.
And she seemed to just come out of nowhere for that board.
Flew in from the three-point line. Smith couldn't get the clean hands on that occasion. And first one's good for Billings. Gets him to go for Townsville. Shook provides the screen. Talbot driving in. Akuzo got a hand in.
She wanted a little piece of that blocking action.
Murray steps into a three. Second chance for Townsville. No, Talbot picks it off. Now Smith to the hoop. And one. Three-point opportunity coming up for Smith and the Lightning. Speaking about coming from nowhere.
Just the sneaky little steal from behind. She was splayed out on the floor a second ago and then came running back.
Smith converts. Billings. Fire sharing it round. Akuzo provides the pick. Reverse lane attempt from Sutton. Akuzo working hard down low. Somehow falls out to Williams, who fires for three. Early shot clock heave. Comes off for Adelaide. Quick 8-2 start.
And it says a lot for shooting with confidence.
Sutton, touch short. Neither team put off by the slow scoring start. They're certainly shooting with no hesitation, Steph.
And that's really a good sign for both teams. They're not letting it affect them. They're still shooting their shots that are open and shooting with confidence.
Timeout on the floor. The Lightning lead this one by 6 early days. And it's been a pretty up and down opening quarter of basketball. 7 turnovers already, 5 of which are the Fires. How have you seen it so far, Steph?
I think this game started and both teams just were a little bit edgy and they seem to just have a few uncharacteristic turnovers where they just weren't taking care of the ball or they just fumbled it. And I think they can shake that out now and the game's well underway. So hopefully we see less turnovers and more of that great aggressive offense and defense on both ends.
Alana Smith has been active early, 3 points and a block as well. I think there might have been 2 there even. She was great defensively.
She was. She managed to just keep her space and keep her hands out and just follow the flight of the ball. And now the Fire know that she's going to be in the key. They can maybe look to draw her out a little bit so that they can get those easy looks inside.
Should be a fun battle of the bigs today. Akuzo down there, Monique Billings as well. Star-studded game here, prime time on a Friday night in Townsville.
And Steph Reed's made her entrance to the game, and I think no doubt it's for a up and pressuring defensive style.
Great defender off the pint for Shannon Seabomb's team. What a breakout year she had last year, Steph Reed. Williams directing traffic. Talbot kicks it out, Werung. Now she'll pull up from the baseline. Smith did well with the O-board. Kicks it straight back inside. Smith in pain. Payne walled up really nicely.
And did well not to drop her arms on that defensive set there.
So Steph Reid, man in the point guard position. Billings from the block. Those slow shooting starts for both teams up on the screen right now. Back iron for Talbot on that occasion. Payne provides the screen. Reid fighting through the trees.
She did well to get that one up. There were two big, tall girls around her and managed to sneak it through there.
Just couldn't finish in the end. Talbot with a deep breath. Smith. Three balls a little strong. Reid moving it through some hands. Sutton searching for a teammate. Single digits in the shot clock. Billings from long range. Talbot with a risky pass. Can Billings make him pay? 3-on-2 opportunity. Billings stepping through, and the Townsville crowd loves it.
That was an absolutely beautiful move that Billings just made at the end of that full court layup. Nice to see from the big girl.
Such athleticism on that play. Williams no good on the triple. Reid. Flick it round to Sutton. Now she pulls up from the elbow. Talbot picks up her dribble. Shook from deep. Smith taps it up. She'll be assessed with the foul.
And Nicholson did well just to hold that box out, just to keep Alana Smith that little bit further away, and she was forced to reach over her back to try and get the ball. There's that beautiful move from Billings again.
So fun to watch. Smith will take a break. She's got 2 personals, Alana Smith. Nicholson. She steps into a mid-range too. Big screen from Shook. Cox is caught up in it. Doesn't look phased. Chelsea Brook out there for Adelaide. Ortlook hands it off to Talbot. Talbot's got to go. Opts the pass. They run out of time. Townsville, another stop.
And here we see that pressuring defense again from Steph Reid, just to force Talbot to make that extra pass.
Hard to fault the defense of either team at this early stage. Payne finds Nicholson in the paint. Akuzo taps it up to herself. Inboard. Fire draw even.
Steph Talbot just taking the ball up nice and slowly, setting up her team.
Out to Brook. That's a deep triple. Brook gets it to go from downtown. Silences the Townsville crowd.
And Brooke has that beautiful 3-point shot. She's known for her shooting, but she's a big girl, so she plays the 4, the stretch 4. So it makes the bigs have to defend her right out to the 3-point line, or she's going to hit those shots.
Nicholson no good on the long 2. And it feels like Townsville, as that one flies out of bounds, it feels like they've had a lot of long 2s so far this quarter. Adelaide have really been getting them into the shots that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, they have been. And Adelaide have also really been pushing the ball, and sometimes it's turned out into a turnover like that. But off their defensive stops, it's been very impressive to see the guards take a couple of dribbles and try and kick it up and kick it ahead to try and keep Townsville defence honest.
Akuzo rolling to the bucket, runs into a wall of Lightning defenders. Shot clock off. Brooke thought about it. Now Ortland from the corner. Back-to-back triples for the Lightning.
And that was a fantastic extra pass there. Because Chelsea Brooke had every right to shoot that three, but did the unselfish thing and gave it to Ortland, who also hit it.
Just missing on the three to end the period. So the Lightning, 14-8. They lead in a low-scoring first period. We'll catch you in a couple of minutes to bring you the second quarter.
Who said we're not strong enough, not fast enough? Wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. Until we dunk, hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Well, welcome back, and if you like what you've seen tonight, don't forget about Aussie Hoops. Of course, basketball is one of the most popular sports in the world, and in particular in Australia. And to find where your kids can start a lifelong enjoyment of our beautiful game, visit the Aussie Hoops locator, which can be found at aussiehoops.basketball/find-a-program. Registrations for Term 1 programs are now open. You can find the link on the screen right in front of you. Well, Liam Elson here alongside Steph Blitzars bringing you this one. And Steph, how did you see the first quarter playing out?
Yeah, it was a slow first quarter. It was a lot of nervous energy you could feel, and that resulted in a fair few turnovers. But both teams really seemed to get going, especially defensively. There's been 8 points to 14 points scored so far this game, and that's pretty low scoring for the number 1 and number 2 team on the ladder this season.
It's been a defensive display, there's no doubt about that. And the Fire are just 3 of 18 from the field. The Lightning got the job done towards the end of the quarter with a couple of triples. But gee, hard to separate these two at the moment. Talbot's been everywhere. Lana Smith as well with 2 personals. Could that play an impact down the stretch? Yeah,
well, with 2 personals, they're going to have to protect her just a little bit, especially because it was in the first quarter. If it was later in the second quarter, you might say, oh, that's okay, she can play with 2. But yeah, they might have to protect her just this little bit to make sure she doesn't pick up a quick third.
Monique Billings leading the way in the scoring column so far with 6 points, averaging 16 and 9 on the season. And good to see Michaela Cox out there to start the second. Of course, big night for her and the Fire, celebrating her breaking the all-time games record for this Fire franchise. What a stalwart she's been for Townsville.
She's been fantastic for Townsville, and she's one of those players that really just displays hard work and effort. So it's great to see her out there.
Here is Cox. Hands it over to Reed. Just running out of space in the end. The pass a little wayward. Now Werung with the ball handling duties for Adelaide. Retrieves it from Brooke. Talbot spinning, stepping through, just missing.
Unlucky to not finish that, because that was a beautiful move, well executed.
Billings hands it off to Nicholson. Presents down low, net with the double team. Oh, Billings finds a way through, just missing in the end. Townsville continue to find a bucket, or continue to struggle, excuse me. This field goal numbers still stark for both teams. Werung double.
That was great help there from Michaela Cox, just to keep Abby out of the key and then just get straight back to her own player.
Which comes up with the The rebound there to reward the effort. Billings working hard inside. Pop it out to Reed. Nicholson blocked. Talbot comes up with it. Reed with the last hand in there.
And Steph Talbot did well just to worry Steph Reed enough out of taking the layup, but still stayed close enough to Loz so she couldn't get that three off.
So Brook to inbound. Hands it into Marina Whittle, who of course it is her birthday. You've just joined us today. Happy birthday, Marina. Forced to pick up her dribble here. Talbot inbounds to Shook. Long two for Talbot. Shook comes up with the O-board. Adelaide taking their time here. Bit too much mayo on it for Whittle. It'll stay with the Lightning.
And that was good recognition there from Whittle, just to see that she had Michaela Cox, a slightly smaller player, on her, just to post her up and try and get that mismatch inside.
Billings knew straight away she shouldn't have touched it.
She was coming in for the big swat, wanted to be on the big poster, the promo.
Akuso back out there as well for Townsville. Williams stepping back for three. Kiana Williams, all class. Another triple for Adelaide. It's a 9-0 run. Inside to Billings. No good. Lightning with some confidence here. Williams goes for back-to-back buckets. No good. Reed trying to push the issue on transition. She'll have to slow it up. Now she can fire from the top. Way right in the end.
And Adelaide have been so good at pushing the ball in their offensive transition. Whether it's a stop or a score, they just manage to get it in quickly and just run the floor, which is making it hard for Townsville to pick up in defence.
Tish again pushing the issue inside to Talbot. She's fouled. Another three goes up for Adelaide, this time missing. Murray inside to Akuso. She goes baseline. Badish did well. So Whittle stepping back for a mid-range two. And are you surprised, Steph, just how long this cold streak has lasted for both teams?
Yeah, it seems as though it's contagious for both teams, because they're getting some good shots, they're getting some good looks inside and some open shots, but they just haven't been dropping.
See if Billings can change that here. She draws the foul.
And that was a good play there from Billings. She managed to get herself to the line, and sometimes that's just what you need to break that drought. Just hit a couple of easy foul shots and then the scoring comes back.
No better way to get your eye back in. Townsville still yet to score in this quarter. Gets the first one to fall. And that breaks a 7-minute scoring drought for the Fire. Bit of confusion there. Townsville will need to defend though. Whittle inbounding. Sam Simon's out there now for the Lightning. Brook at the top. Single-digit shot clock. Whittle's going. Billings with the block. No, it's a foul. First personal for Billings. Whittle will head to the line.
Billings said, "Happy birthday." Take a tumble.
No good on the first. Crowd doing their best to deter Whittle. Splits a pair at the line. Adelaide remaining in control here. Sutton. Last touch Whittle. Crafty in and out move.
It is, and she's so quick on her feet with really good handles, so she managed to get into the key almost every time she wants to.
Reed follows her own miss. See if she can do something similar here. Sutton steps into a three-throw line. Jay, that one falls home.
And it felt like they really needed that score.
Yeah.
Like they were willing it to go in that time.
Breaks the field goal drought for Townsville. Akuzo falls over. Shook has a chance, can't convert. Sutton the other way. Same spot. Akuzo skies for the O-board. Sutton comes up with it.
Just picking up those crumbs.
Now Reed. Billings can step into an elbow. Jay, and she makes it drop. Williams steps into a three, no good. Back-to-back buckets now for the Fire. They've struggled to score all game. Could this be the start of something? Complete miscue in the end from Billings there. Not sure if she was expecting Akuzo to duck behind a defender.
I think she might have thought Akuzo has the ability to leap pretty high. Maybe she just wanted to go up for the alley, I'm not sure.
Akuzo will take a spell. Werung, wayward pass, Billings picks it off. Doesn't hesitate on the fast break, and one. Pumps her fist. That'll get the Townsville crowd into it. So many other players Steph may have pulled up on that occasion, but she took them all on.
Absolutely not. You saw it on her eyes. She's like, I am too strong for this. I'm going straight up.
Really collected Chelsea Brook in the process as well.
She knew she was going through there. No one was going to stop her. Solid finish.
Billings up to 12 with that free throw.
And just like that, a couple of points in it.
Close the gap, the Fire. Talbot calls for the screen. Now she'll go, Steph Talbot. Ambitious pass attempt, no good. Defense holding up for both teams, do you think, Steph?
Yeah, they're definitely making it tough for each other. It's quite a low-scoring game for the number 1 and 2 on the ladder.
Very, very, very low scoring. 13% field goal percentage for the Lightning. Townsville now up to 27. So we got a timeout on the floor. It's the Lightning leading by 2 here, but the Fire went on a little bit of a run there towards the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's like they built a little bit of momentum. They had a very slow start to the quarter, and then once they hit one bucket, they just seemed to follow suit and hit a few more after that. But for both teams, baskets have been few and far between. We haven't seen a lot of scoring this game, and it says a lot for the defense, but also there have been quite a few turnovers, which it could be just a bit of nerves, it could be good defense, but I think maybe both teams need to take care of it a little bit better.
2 top 4 teams, as we spoke about. I mean, are we surprised that it's this low scoring, or are they 2 defensive-minded teams, do you think?
I am a little bit surprised at how low scoring is, because both teams have the ability to outscore the other team and win, but I'm glad we're seeing a little bit of defense and making it difficult for players to do what they really want to do. So they've obviously, both coaches have scouted really well and know what they want to do to stop the other one.
Townsville got out to a 9-point lead.
And then we see Susie Bakovic with her twins coming out to support the Fire.
Great to see. Still involved as well with the Fire.
Yeah, it's great to see it.
Fire leading by 9. Sorry, the Lightning leading by 9, excuse me. The Fire have cut it now to 2. Great atmosphere up here on the Friday night as well. Talk me through the Townsville crowd. You've obviously played here plenty of times, Steph. What's it like playing in front of their home fans?
So if you play for Townsville, it is absolutely fantastic. The cowbells, the energy in the room, the heckling, it's amazing. When you're on the other team, not so much.
That's the way it's got to be, I reckon. Talbot finds her way to the free-throw line. Yet to score in this game, Steph Talbot. Got a couple of steals, 3 assists, but 0 of 7 from the field.
Sometimes Steph Talbot can be a little bit too unselfish when she gets into the key. And she does all the hard work, gets to the rim, and then is fantastic at passing and can get her teammates involved. But sometimes she should just take the shot herself.
Get some personal reward for effort there. A couple of free throws drop. Williams thought she had it for a second. Here's Nicholson. Akuzo just couldn't handle it. Somehow keeps it in. Werung, though, running out of space. Townsville ball, we think. Bit of volleyball on the sideline there.
The ref's having a little chat about it, trying to figure out what happened.
Looks like we've come to a conclusion. The Fire will hold on to it.
2 seconds on the shot clock.
Murray has to go. Doesn't hit iron. Hands it off to Williams. Here's Talbot now. Williams, wing 3. No good on that occasion. Shook and Akuzo there. Townsville pull it down. Murray, transition 3. Talbot will have to slow it up. Or does she? Inboard to Brooke, no good.
And Sutton's just slowing it down after a couple of sprints, trying to get through a play.
Sutton puts it behind the back, steps into it too.
Bit of fancy footwork there. Nice to see.
Pretty move. Sutton's second bucket of the ball game. Draws the Fire back within 1 possession. Shook. Big cross-court pass to Werang, who finds their way through.
And Abby did really well there to make something out of nothing.
Williams getting a hand in, bodies flying everywhere. Jump ball is the call from the ref. Nicholson calls the original spillage. We had a player helping out on the mop for a second.
As did I.
So a chance to chat things over again. It's remains a low-scoring defensive affair here. 90 seconds to go in the first half. The Lightning holding on to a 4-point lead, Steph.
Yeah, and at this point, it's really anyone's game. There hasn't been a clear leader throughout the whole game. At the start, it was Adelaide came out firing, but yeah, it's been a bit of to and fro. No one's really got the momentum. It just kind of goes from one team to the other.
Yeah, there hasn't been any real big scoring runs so far in this game. The Lightning hit 3 triples in a row through the end of the first and the start of the second, but other than that, it's been a real sort of grinded out affair. 9 turnovers for Townsville, 7 for Adelaide.
And you would say if you were a coach, that's far too high. You don't want to be turning the ball over at that rate.
What do you think Coach Shannon Seabomb's got to say here?
I think he just would tell them to keep going to what's working for them, keep their defensive pressure up and shooting their open shots, because they haven't hit many threes, but they've had a few open looks. And we know with the caliber of shooters they have, and especially Mia Murray, she's missed a couple which I would have expected to go in. So it's just going to keep that confidence up.
It'll have to open up at some stage, you'd say. Williams calling the action. Adelaide just moving it around the perimeter. Now Werang will go. Nicholson did well.
Nicholson did really well just to keep her hands out and stay in front of Abby.
Textbook defensive play. Payne now off the bench for Townsville. She'll fire Payne. There you go, some offense off the bench. Back within a point. Now Werang. Adelaide looking for the response going into half-time. Shook backing down Payne. Gets the bucket to go.
And that was a battle of the bigs right there. Just look at the physicality between Payne and Shook.
Just the first bucket of the game for Shook. Did it in style. How do you think she's acclimatised to the WNBL this season, Kylie Shook?
She's been doing really well. She's such a big, powerful body. And if she keeps working and posting up like that, she looks almost unstoppable. She could be quite a big look for them. But they have such a good team that can score from anywhere. She doesn't necessarily get that recognition as much. But seeing that move just then against Nadine Payne, who's also a strong body, I feel like you could go into that a lot more.
Certainly a really long team, the Lightning, between Shook and Talbot and Smith, and even some of the players they bring off the bench, like Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke is actually quite tall, like deceivingly tall. She's a 4-man that can hit the 3 and play inside. And then even in their guard aspect, Abby Warung's quite tall for the position that she plays and quite long and athletic. So across the board, they normally, you would think, would have the height advantage against any other team that they're playing.
Could be a point of difference for this Lightning team. Kiana Williams, meanwhile, leads the way in the scoring column with 6. And for Townsville, it's Billings, and then who else? She's got 12 to her name, Monique Billings. Cowbells ring, and Kylie Shook's missed. Shot clock remains on, only just. Sutton to take some time off. Sutton drives baseline. Disco dancing around that line. She's lost it. Werung. She's got a fire. Abby Werung. So that'll do it for the end of the first half. It's the Adelaide Lightning 24 leading the Townsville Fire 21. It was a pretty grinded out affair, Steph. How did you see the first half play out?
Yeah, it was not necessarily a shooting display like we've seen in other games. But yeah, as you said, it was really ground out. It was a lot of setting up, slowing it down, battling of the bodies, and contested shots. That's what I'd have to say was the most noticeable thing for me. There are no real open shots. They're all contested. They're over a hand, and both teams are making each other's shots difficult.
Certainly are. There's been a few big rejections as well, as we just saw there. Williams leading the way in the scoring column for Adelaide. You'd have to think that at some point in the second half this opens up, would you say?
At this point, it's just hard to know. If both teams keep making each other shoot contested shots, it's going to be a real ground out affair because there's going to be nothing that comes easy.
Big rejection there from Talbot as well. Get the match stats up here in a moment. Monique Billings is leading the way. What a moment this was.
Just
coast to coast.
Strong.
And the shooting woes are right there for you to see. 25% roughly for both sides. And 10 turnovers for the Fire. You'd have to think Shannon Seaborn would be looking to fix that.
Yeah, looking at the turnovers, you would try and keep below 12 and below for a game. So to have 10 after the first half, you're probably a little bit disappointed with that. With the Lightning, they also have 7, but a lot of their turnovers have come from trying to push the break and pass the ball up ahead that just haven't really hit the mark. So you can kind of forgive a few of those turnovers, but if you can try and minimise that and get some really good shots, I think this game can turn around.
Well, Steph, who impressed you the most from an individual standpoint in that half? Was there anyone that stood out to you?
I think Billings has done really well. I think she's strong, and we're just watching her highlights here, and she's just a hustle player, as you can see. She's a big body, and she's willing to push the ball and go coast to coast. So I think if she can keep out of foul trouble, I think that'll be really good for her and her team.
And not afraid to put the ball on the deck either, Billings, which is a great trait for such a big player.
It is. Especially because sometimes point guards get a little bit nervous when the big girl's carrying the ball up the court. It looks like she's in control, and you don't look worried when she's dribbling it.
Certainly not. It's been a fun matchup. Battle of the bigs here in Townsville tonight. And how are you seeing the matchup of some of our opals tonight? We've got 4 of them here. Zatina Akuso, Alana Smith, Lauren Nicholson, and Steph Talbot all heading to that opals camp on Monday. Do you reckon they'll be discussing the game?
I think so. If you come out with a win, surely you're going to mention it to your teammates, aren't you? Especially when you're in a bit of competition. But
Yeah.
I think it's really good to see them all out there really putting their best foot forward with obviously the matchup between Steph Talbot and Loz Nicholson. They're making it tough for each other, which is good. And then Zatina and Alana haven't really played against each other, but they're both battling really hard inside the key.
Well, we can see both players here have definitely struggled shooting the ball tonight, but have still made impacts in other ways. Who do you reckon's got the chocolates through the first 20 minutes?
I think it's a little bit hard to say because
Certainly, yeah.
they're both doing effort things and playing hard defense and trying to get their teammates involved. So it's hard to really put them up against each other at the minute because I'd say they're even Stevens.
Speaking of Lauren Nicholson, she was named the Round 8 Player of the Week in that great 2-point win, the comeback win over Melbourne. How about that for a stat line? Just
absolutely ridiculous. That's just so impressive. And we know that Loz can do that. We've seen her do it before. We've seen her do it in the WNBL and the NBL 1. And she's now starting to do it on an international stage now that she's part of the Opals squad and being part of that team for a little bit now. And I think because she's playing in a team with two really, really good imports, she's taken a bit of a back step and she's doing what's good for her team. So it's nice to see her have her game now.
Well, Lauren Nicholson did praise Zatina Akuzo, her teammate, of course, the young 23-year-old forward for this Townsville team. She's also a member of the Opals camp. Some of those stat lines there, especially the 17-point performance against the Boomers. Do you think she's coming into her own in the league?
Yeah, and I think Zatina's been on the radar for a little while now. She's just been unlucky with a few knee injuries and then having to come back from that, which is always difficult. But it's good to see her play in the league and get some solid minutes. So I think it's only up for Zatina from here.
Certainly, I'm sure we'll see lots more of her in a Opals uniform and a Fire uniform to come in the following years. So how about the play of our reigning MVP, Steph? Of course, Steph Talbot we're speaking of, once again having a massive impact this WNBL season. She's piling the stat sheet once again.
She is, and she's a very consistent player. I think that's what makes her so good. She puts in the effort every game. She may not score through the roof, but she'll get her all of the players in her team involved. She'll get into the key and create open shots for her teammates, crash the boards, and I think there's a lot to, if you're a younger player, a lot to learn from watching her.
She's been great on the defensive end tonight, as we can see here with some of these highlights coming out of nowhere. What does she have to do on the offensive end to power her team home to victory?
Well, I think it's been really difficult because both teams are struggling to score, and it's just trying to get those good-looking shots, so penetrating into the key, if you don't have your own shot, drawing a defender and making the extra pass. So I think both teams need to really look at doing that.
Well, Michaela Cox tonight is celebrating the Townsville Fire. Most games capped. They broke it in the previous game, and now Michaela Cox is celebrating with everyone up there in Townsville tonight. Most capped player. She's played for a decade, of course, over from New Zealand. Talk me through what it's like playing against Michaela Cox, Steph.
Yeah, well, I had the chance to actually play with and against Michaela Cox, so she's one of the most hard-working, dedicated players that I've ever seen in the league. She's always the first there before practice. She's doing the extras. She's running up, if anyone knows Townsville, Castle Hill. It's a hill that's super steep and super sweaty because you're in Townsville. That's 100% humidity, but she does it all the time, and it hasn't stopped since she's had a baby. She's just willed herself back and done all the extra hard work, and it's nice to see her getting that recognition.
Some great scenes there, of course, receiving the plaque from former teammate Susie Bakovic, and saw some quotes during the week that they reckon she might be able to play till 40, Steph. What do you reckon?
Well, she takes care of her body, and I'm sure she probably could. She's in the same calibre as Kelly Wilson.
Absolutely. Well, the second half is not too far away, Steph. Of course, we've spoken about how low scoring it's been. What do both teams need to do to find a victory?
I think it's really difficult to say because they're both struggling to score and they're both playing that hustle defense. So it's going to come down to the team who can get the best open looks and really can make the most of their opportunities. because as you can see by all these highlights, there's no easy shots.
Absolutely not. Some of those lightning defensive plays coming up in your screen right now. Alana Smith, we haven't seen too much of her over the second period, of course. Was in some foul trouble in the first period. Surely they'll start to get her back involved in the third, do you think?
You would think she would start the second half just because she was doing a lot for her team in the first quarter. So it'll be interesting to see how many minutes she does end up playing and whether she can protect that third foul.
Players back out there warming up. And great to see the Fire back in the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Great venue here. The Kuzo warming up as well. Hopefully wouldn't want too many sore bodies for the Opals camp on Monday.
No, and that's what it is. You play 100% during the season and then Opals camp pops up and you're training 2 a day every day. So hopefully by the time they're back in the season, they're not broken down.
The coaches will certainly be hoping so. Such a low scoring scoreline for some of the 2 best teams in this league. 2 top 4 teams and contenders right here.
And it looks like they're having no trouble making those shots in the warm-up. We're seeing plenty of threes being hit, but it's a little bit different when the game starts.
And you wonder if the halftime break will be the circuit breaker.
Well, they call the third quarter the championship quarter, so whoever can come out and get the jump on the other team, you would think would have a leg up.
Lightning were 4 of 20 from 2 in the first half and 4 of 13 from 3. So it's been that sort of game. There's one of them right there, Kiana Williams, getting it to go. The Fire, meanwhile, is shooting at 25%. Great atmosphere up here in Townsville. You can hear it through your screens. They get into it.
And those are the games that you really want to be a part of. You want to be a part of the games that have the electric crowd, and you want to be the player to silence them. So both teams have really got a lot going on with the crowd today.
If you just joined us as well, it was the UC Caps getting the job done in convincing fashion in the previous game against the Sydney Uni Flames. They've moved up to 4th on the table with that win tonight. So the Fire will need to win to remain in the top 4. They've got a 4-3 record currently if this game continues down this track with Adelaide winning.
Yeah, and we've spoke about it a lot throughout this season. The top 6 so far have been within touching distance of each other, and you never quite know how a game's going to turn out. You may think that a team will have a blowout and have a big win, and then they end up losing. It just depends on who turns up on the day.
There's no doubt there's going to be a few handy teams missing out on playoffs this year. So here we go, starters getting ready for the second half. And it looks like the Fire have indeed gone back to their starting 5, as have the Lightning. Alana Smith back out there.
Loz Nicholson ready to inbound it, ready to get this game underway.
Here we go. Third quarter action coming up. Nicholson starting it off for Townsville. Billings wasting no time. Straight away, steps into an elbow J.
Hopefully that's the tone that's going to be set for the rest of the quarter.
Back to a 1-point ball game. Talbot inside to a cutting Smith. Gets it to drop and 1.
They heard us talking about the low-scoring game, and they're ready to prove us wrong.
This is more like it, Steph. I think if we had it our way from the broadcast box, I think we'd prefer no defense, just all offense. What do you think?
That's right. Minimal defense, all offense. High-scoring occasion.
That's what I'm about. Smith converts. Lightning going for their 5th win on the trot here this evening. Playing in a hostile environment here in Townsville. Sutton. Williams got a hand in. So it'll stay with the Fire.
Williams did well just to dislodge that ball from Sutton there.
Did well not to foul as well. Sutton comes around the screen. Adelaide got a tip on that. Shot clock violation. The good defense continues. With the triple.
And that was a beautiful looking shot there from Williams. Just her player went underneath the screen and she told him not to disrespect her.
Very composed. Billings can't convert on that occasion. Werung. Contested lay-in. Murray did really well. Kuzo with the pick for Nicholson. Hands it back to a rolling Kuzo. This is more like it. Ooh. Can't find iron on that occasion. Werung pushing the issue. Foul call on Nicholson. Doesn't love it.
No.
Let's see if we can have a look at it here. Tough to call from where we are.
Couldn't quite see from that angle.
Smith finds the space, well rewarded by Shook. Adelaide all of a sudden now to a 9-point lead. Murray. 3 ball drops for Murray. This is more like it, Steph.
That's it. This is what we're about. We like seeing those shots being made.
Shook. She opts baseline and draws the foul in the process. Score Billings napping.
And that's probably the first easy look we've seen the entire game.
Yeah. It has been like that. Already had 13 points scored through 3 minutes. It's a gold rush.
It is. I'm telling you, they heard us. They heard us telling them that they were having a poor shooting night. And they're ready to prove us wrong.
Shook takes care of business. And I dare say they probably heard it from other places as well. Nicholson hands it back to Akuzo. Murray again for 3. So Kiana Williams, she's been good today, Williams, as always. 9 points to her name, averaging 11 on the season. Talbot to the bucket.
Just that nice little change of pace straight into that layup.
Biggest lead of the game for either team. Nicholson, they needed that to fire. Talbot looking to move things on. Inside to Smith. Nadine Payne defending Smith. A little strong. Talbot crashing the boards. Smith now with the O board. Another opportunity. Fire can't get a hold of it. Talbot's been fouled.
And Fire will be really disappointed with that set of plays. Because once the shot goes up, you need to box out one and done. And as ever impressive, Steph Talbot came over the top and got those boards.
Adelaide disappointed they couldn't get an and one out of it. 3 offensive rebounds in a row. Williams with confidence. Payne can't keep it in. Just slipped out of her fingertips.
And she knew right about there, probably should have left it.
You could see the expression on her face, couldn't you? Werung. Oh, blocked by Kuzo. Pumps her fist to the bench. She knew straight away that was clean.
She did, and that's just that little bit of energy now. Hopefully they can use that down the other end.
Here they go, come up with a stop, Townsville. They trail by 8. In the context of this game, it feels like a massive lead. But we know it's only a couple of buckets away. Nicholson off her foot. Now Williams has got a chance. Transition 3, no good. Stays with Adelaide. Plenty of firepower sitting on that bench.
There is.
Rook and Whittle, haven't seen them so far in this third period. Too long.
That's a great result for the Fire there.
Don't see that too often. Into Steph Reid, she's seeing her first second half minutes. See if she can make something happen again here in the second half for Townsville. Payne now for 3. Foul call on the floor, break in play.
I think that was on Shook, just hand in the back there.
Oh, yep. Townsville a second chance. Nicholson will just stop and fire, nearly banked in. Kuzo with front position. Backs it out, fresh 14 for the Fire. Nicholson just rattles it home. 2-possession ball game.
And they've pegged it back to 6.
Kuzo nearly tapped it out of Shook's hands. Talbot, cross court. Now Werung can fire, corner 3. And that'll be on Nadine Payne. Just holding up Smith. Just lost her footing momentarily.
Had a bit of a tumble.
Smith converts on the first. And Alana Smith now into double digits, leading scorer for the Lightning. 10 points, 6 boards. Inside to Akuzo. Wild pass out to Nicholson in the corner. Should be Lightning ball.
It should be. Satina should have stayed down her end. I think she gave it away when she started walking away. Too honest.
Smith trying to find the handoff. Now Williams comes around the pick, draws the foul. That was smart.
She knew where Steph Reed was and she just went straight at her arms. Crafty.
I feel like she's been good today, Williams. She's picked her spots, do you think?
She has been. And she's taking her open look. So she's hit a couple of threes and she's shooting with confidence.
Talbot and Chris Lucas taking the chance to chat things over.
I've really enjoyed the contest between Williams and Sutton. They're both similar players and they're going at each other, which is great.
Kiana Williams takes care of business there. 12 points per game last season in the WNBA. Reed. Kuzo hands it back out to Reed. They combine, long two goes for Satina. Turnover, Townsville keep it. Nicholson thought about the triple. Now she puts up the floater. Taps it back down to Payne. Another chance. Nicholson, a fourth opportunity. Can they cap it off with a triple? No, just rimming out.
And I feel like that was just so unlucky for the Fire. They managed to do all the right things and get the ball and just couldn't quite convert.
Big collective sigh.
But Alana Smith
Townsville,
can.
yeah, brings it back to a double-digit lead, just like that. And that's how the game goes. It's been that sort of night for Townsville. Adelaide have got all the answers at the moment. Reed takes a lot of contact, no call. Talbot. Somehow finds Smith and drawing the foul. Talk about threading the needle.
That was well-timed, well-weighted pass. And we just see that series of events there.
Series of unfortunate events if you're Townsville.
That's right. Get out of jail free card there for Adelaide.
That three had gone down for Murray. Just feel like momentum would have shifted their way somewhat.
It was just unlucky.
But this Lightning team, they look the real deal. Smith up to 12 points.
It's like they're just slowly edging their way away from the Townsville Fire. They're just adding a couple of points at a time, just really lengthening the gap.
Yeah, bit by bit. No good that time. Same result. Almost at the same part of the rim as well.
Yeah. Says a lot about consistency.
Big result for the Cowbell.
Just vibrated it out of the ring.
Nicholson thought about it. Now she'll pull up for two. Whittle, baseball passes it ahead. Nicholson picks it off once again. Another O-board. Looked to be last touch from Talbot.
And the Fire are getting a lot of good stops and a lot of good-looking shots, and they just can't convert.
They've been so close on so many occasions. Billings now back out there as well. She's got 3 personals. Here she is on cue. And that might be the key to them getting back in the game.
Just that composure, just to get that shot. They really needed it.
Billings has provided almost half of Townsville's points. She's got 16. And Talbot draws the foul.
Adelaide are doing really well to just attack the bodies of Townsville, getting into the key and making the refs make those calls.
Talbot's second trip to the free-throw line this evening. As a team, they've been 15 times, though you're right, Steph, making things happen. Had her struggles from the field tonight, Talbot, but she's been influential in other ways.
And that might be the bit of confidence she needed, just a couple of foul shots.
Here's Michaela Cox out there and her big night. Most capped player for the Fire. Nicholson, tough pull-up shot. Cox tried to spike it back out. Last touch by Adelaide. So here's Cox. Nicholson, free-throw line, draws some contact. Gets it to fall. That's the sort of luck that Townsville needed.
They needed that. It's been a tough shooting night for them, and they just need a couple of these to drop in. A couple of and ones, and they're back on board.
Can't count this Fire team out.
We've seen that from their last performance against Melbourne.
It's a great point. Of course, down by 20 in that one, came back to win by 2. Talbot needs to get it inbound. They've had all the answers so far, Adelaide. Can they do it again here to close the third? Whittle off the pine. So now Townsville, shot clock off. Chance to close the gap going into the fourth. They trailed by 10 last game coming into the fourth quarter. Ended up winning.
Big hit for Steph Reed.
It's collected the hip of Shook.
And there is a big size difference between them. Steph Reed is quite a small gal, and Shook's the big 5-man, so no wonder she came off second best.
She's shaking it off, going to stay out there. Played another good game off the bench today, Reed. So Billings for 3 on the buzzer, no good. That'll do it for the end of 3. The Lightning lead 44 to Townsville's 37. Stay with us, a big last quarter of action coming right up in 2 minutes' time. Get excited, basketball fans. In September, the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup is returning to Australian shores for the first time in 27 years, featuring 12 teams, 144 of the world's best players and 38 games across 10 days. The Women's Basketball World Cup will deliver plenty of action for Aussie basketball fans. Sign up for first access tickets at womensworldcup.basketball. It's a 7-point ball game. Chris Lucas and his Lightning, they lead by 7 here. It's been a tough, grinded out affair here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Liam Elson here alongside Steph Blitzarves. Steph, what do you reckon the Lightning need to do to hold on here?
I think they just need to be safe with the ball. They're doing a really good job at driving into the key and making the refs make calls. And it's really, they've been rewarded for it. They've been getting to the line. So if they can keep doing that and making Townsville have to defend, I think they'll be in good stead for that.
The Fire, meanwhile, just have not been able to bridge the gap so far. They won the second period 13-10, but were outscored again in the first and third. What do you think they need to do?
They've just been very unlucky in their shots. They've been front rimming them. They've had a lot of second chance points that they've missed. If they can just hit a couple of those, this game would be a completely different scenario. You can't question the effort from both teams. They're in it for the fight.
There's been bodies flying everywhere. It's sort of been a game of moments as well. The Fire have had a few, it just hasn't fallen their way so far. 10 minutes of action remaining here in Townsville. Lightning trying to win 5 on the trot. Brooke. Almost the perfect start to the period. Billings can't give her that much space. Draws the foul. Reed did really well there to create the space.
She did. That was a great drive there from Billings. And she knew she had a gap and she took it. It was either going to be a layup or a foul.
Give her any sort of run up and it's near impossible to stop. Two from two. Closes the gap to 5 and Billings up to 18. They double Williams.
Smart from Williams there.
She's a smart player, Kiana Williams.
She knew she was getting pressured. She knew the trap was there and she didn't want a backcourt violation, so straight off the leg of Steph Reed.
Talbot ahead to Werung. Brooke provides the screen. Talbot with the triple. Adelaide regain control.
And you just can't give her that much space. Beautiful shot there from Talbot.
So composed, wasn't it? Reed can fire from the top.
And you can't give her that much space either. So return fire there from Reed.
Yeah, they'll be confident with the ball in her hands in that situation. Townsville. Shots are starting to fall here. 5-point ball game. Talbot slips over. And you can actually see on the broadcast there's a little bit of moisture out there by the looks.
Bit slippery and just really unlucky there for Steph Talbot. But Billings was happy to take that ball.
Might have stepped on a foot, actually. Get that cleaned up and back underway. Last year's MVP, leading her team to top of the table midway through this season.
And Williams with the pressure. Better get it in.
Just got it in time. Very close.
That was great defensive pressure there by Williams.
Nicholson. Kuzo over to Billings. She needs no introduction. Draws a foul once again. About to shoot free throws number 8 and 9 for the night, Monique Billings.
And now it's Townsville that are really making the refs make those calls. They're attacking the bodies and getting themselves to the line.
Chance to bring it back to a one-possession ball game. Been a while since we could say that. It's the second one to drop. Townsville keep marching. Reed does really well, gets a hand in. She's got to back it out. Wins a possession for her ball club. Finds Cox in the corner, now she drives. Akuzo can fire. Nearly capped off a great play for Townsville. Oh, Billings just got a hand in. Nicholson hands it back. There's a foul call.
And what a battle we have on our hands. This quarter's going to be a physical one.
Billings getting a hand in. What a big moment. Townsville are coming.
You know that they never give up. They're a team that just keep fighting right to the end, and it's evident right now.
Can they bring it within a bucket? The night that they're celebrating Michaela Cox becoming the most capped player in Townsville Fire history. Getting some crunch time minutes right now. Nicholson to the hoop. She draws contact.
Making them make that call.
There wasn't much of a gap there really, but she just made it happen.
She did. She saw half a gap and she's like, I'm going to get through there. And it's either going to be a layup or a foul.
First one's good. Takes Nicholson's tally to double digits for the evening. Two points in it. It's been all Townsville now in this fourth quarter. Pressing up. Talbot sees a way out of it. Williams pulls up for two, a little short.
And you had the feeling that Adelaide were just a bit rushed there, and that's exactly what that press was designed to do, to get stops and to make them shoot an early shot, and it's working.
Billings again to the bucket. She knew as soon as she took that first step, this is going in. And in a night where offense has been few and far between, Billings has had no troubles.
The confidence and the power.
21 points in the ball game. 7 of 12 shooting, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Brings her team even, and if the Fire win this, you'd have to think Billings is the difference.
Well, she's just been so good tonight. She's been that little bit of a spark when they just really didn't have much offensively.
No other player in double digits, bar Nicholson and Billings. In fact, Nicholson's on 9. So there you go, it's Billings with 21.
And not shooting at a bad clip either. 7 of 12.
Very impressive stuff.
Oh, sorry, 7 of 13.
It's been a 10-3 start to the fourth quarter for Townsville. And 10 points has felt like a mammoth lead in the context of this game, but they've closed it like that.
It is. It just hasn't felt like either team have really broken away from the others. Adelaide had a little bit of a time there where we could feel them edging away, but the Fire just used that fantastic full court pressure and just worried them into turnovers and then converted down the other end.
Of course, Billings still nursing the 3 personals. Nadine Payne has 4 as well for Townsville. Talbot working hard. Wanted the foul call, isn't going to get it. Hail Mary pass. Why wouldn't you if it's Billings there? Can't come up with it though. Smith's fouled. Was playing gridiron for a second there.
It was.
Go and get it.
I'm going to throw it up here and you're athletic enough to catch it, so there you go.
Kuzo checks back in. Star-studded lineup for the Fire, for both teams, really. Kiana Williams has been fantastic today. Steps into an elbow J. So the Fire now haven't led all ball game. Chance to take the lead here for the first time. Billings does just that. And you can hear the Townsville Entertainment Centre. They're getting right into it now. Big screen on Cox. Werung. The Lightning looking for a response. Smith and Akuzo battling down low. Smith gets the answer for Adelaide. They go back to Billing. She'll edge it out to Nicholson. Now Nicholson for the 2.
And you can just feel Fire have the momentum at the minute. Adelaide need to do something to just slow them down.
14-5 run. Here they go again. Michaela Cox picks it up. Searching for a teammate. She finds it in Nicholson. In motion. And the Fire now lead by 4. Nicholson's been a big player here in this fourth period, Steph.
She has. She's just found her groove. It took her a little bit, but now it seems as though she's got her eye in.
Werung backs it out to Smith. Shook gets a hand in. Billings with the last laugh.
And it's the desperation. Billings and Nicholson both flying at the ball to try and keep it out of Adelaide's hands.
What can she do now, Billings? Steps it out. Loves it. Holds the follow through for the crowd. Timeout on the floor. Townsville lead by 6.
And that's a good timeout call from Chris Lucas, because really the Fire have the momentum, and if you didn't do something to stop it, you just felt like it was going to just fly away from them.
Billings now up to 25 points in the ball game. She really has been unbelievable today.
She has been, and she's been that spark that they needed. They were struggling for a little while, and she's been nursing the 3 fouls, but she's done a fantastic job.
Mobbed by her teammates there as well. You can just tell they love playing with her. The Lightning, all of a sudden, after scoring 20 points in the third period, now they can't find a bucket.
It's done a complete somersault. It went from the Fire really struggling, and now it's Adelaide that don't really have the answer. they were doing so well at just making the refs make calls, attacking the bodies, getting into the lanes. But now it seems as though they can't even get the ball up there. They're just taking outside shots, quick shots, rushed shots, and it's all the Fire's game at the minute.
Hasn't been going their way.
There's still a long time left in this game, though, so anything can happen.
Led by 10 at one stage, the Lightning. $16-point turnaround for this Fire team. They've got a pep in their step, you can tell.
And now it's almost the reverse of the body language. It was Townsville that were a bit flat, and now it seems as though Adelaide is just that little bit flat.
You've got the home crowd behind them as well. Werrong retrieves it from Smith. Runs into two Townsville defenders. Talbot and Cox gets a hand in. Another stop for the home side.
It's the desperation and the hustle on those defensive rotations. Because that was a great offensive play there from Adelaide, and they just couldn't reward themselves.
Nicholson nearly continued the run there for the Fire. Whittle back out there for Adelaide. Smith fading away. They needed that one, the Lightning.
It seems as though Smith is the only one that's really scoring for Adelaide at the minute.
Haven't lost since their season opener, the Lightning. Can't count them out. Payne steps it out for three, no good. And Reed's being called with a foul. There's that Smith move again. Just a little nudge from Steph Reed. Whittle picks up her dribble. Here's Smith again, fading away. Alana Smith back to back.
And now Adelaide seem to have the momentum. It's just swinging from one team to the other.
Hard to separate these two at the moment. Reed could have gone. Opposite over to Cox. Great idea, she makes it. It's her night, Michaela Cox. Most capped player in Townsville history, celebrating on her home deck. And Billings pulls it down the other end.
And Townsville just slowing the ball down.
Oh, Billings, what a dish. Payne's drawn the foul. She's doing it all, isn't she, Monique Billings?
She is. And she had every right to shoot that shot, but made a really good pass to Nadine Payne under the ring, who's now shooting foul shots.
Such a quick decision to make that in midair.
She was spun. She could have just shot that little step back, but instead found Nadine.
No good on the second. Massive few minutes coming up. Smith, she's found the answers for Adelaide. Shook did really well to pull that down. Nicholson now the other way. Four-point leaders, Townsville. .90 seconds to work with. Smith, wide open. Cannot give Alana Smith that much space.
That is a big shot to be making.
7 points in a few minutes for Smith, and she's got Adelaide right back in this one.
This is really anyone's game at this point.
Smith now up to 21. 21 and 7.
We thought it was Billings' game, but then Alana Smith has just had a really, really good last quarter, last couple of minutes.
So great to see her in the WNBL for the first time this season. Putting up 14 and a half and 7.5 rebounds per game. It's been a good quarter for the Fire, but they've got to steady themselves here, Shannon Seabomb's troops.
They did. They were using their momentum, and the crowd was right behind them. It was all going their way, and they managed to get that nice little lead, and now it's just been pegged back. Adelaide just decided that they were in it for the long haul.
Crowd getting involved here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Friday night hoops here in the WNBL. Top of the table clash. Adelaide trying to hold on to top spot. Townsville trying to get back into the top 4 with a win tonight. Nicholson. Coxey to 3 moments ago. Now Reed will fire. Who else but Alana Smith? Williams was great in the first half. Smith at the high post. And Talbot is fouled.
And that's probably a good foul for Michaela Cox, because otherwise Talbot was shooting that layup. And they've called it on the ground.
So Smith to inbound. Less than a minute remaining. All to play for. Werung to the hoop. Talbot with the O-board. So foul call. Lightning ball. Have they called it on this play, Steph?
No, I think it was on the rebound. I think it was maybe across the arms of Steph Talbot, but I'm not sure who the foul was on.
Williams with 14 seconds to work with for Adelaide. Smith steps into another three. No good. Big, big stop for Townsville. They'll be in no hurry here, you'd think. Misfire. Talbot comes up with it and she's fouled.
Oh,
Nicholson does not look in a good way.
no.
Oh, no. Such an unfortunate collision. You can... Oh, ouch. I hope it's nothing too serious. That's...
It's good to see that Loz is up on her feet.
You see the way Talbot's body hit the deck, just sort of accidentally drove her head into the turf.
It was, and we'll see it again here, I think it was Talbot's hip just smashed Loz's head into the floor and she did not look good.
she's going to stay out there remarkably. Tough as nails, Loz Nicholson. Big free throws as well in the context of this game.
Big time play.
Missing. All tied up. Another opportunity for Adelaide. Shot clock off.
And Townsville will be so upset that they missed that box out.
Kiana Williams. Reed gets a hand in. Bodies fly. Reed's first to it. It's jump ball. And which way does the possession arrow point?
A second and a half to go.
Wow. We've got a timeout. What a moment. That could have been the game right there. Smith did so well to come up with the O-board.
And Reed did really well in this next defensive play just to get a hand there to Williams.
Yeah. Clean block from Reed. So it's going to be Townsville ball, a second and a half to work with, or we've got free basketball. It's probably, if we do go to overtime, Steph, it probably sums up the game.
It really does. It's been so even this entire game and we couldn't call it. And now Townsville have got a chance for the big win. Otherwise, everyone's stuck with us for an extra period.
I think Monique Billings is the obvious candidate here. Could have a Michaela Cox moment too.
You just don't know, because you know that Adelaide are going to be all over Billings. So could they use her as a bit of a decoy and go for the big three?
Could be the go. 9-16 this evening for Billings. 25 to her name. Here we go. Townsville with a second and a half to win it. Home court, great atmosphere. Sutton to inbound. Murray gets it in, fires. Mia Murray, no good. We're going to overtime.
What a game.
What a game indeed. 59 apiece, and Murray had an opportunity there.
She did. She did well to get that shot off too, because she was coming out of that corner and there was a defender right there.
Good D as well from Williams, really, to wall up without fouling.
Yeah. A foul on that shot would have been an absolute disaster.
So here we go, 5 more minutes of basketball. Second half especially, Steph, has been really fun.
It has been. It's been much more enjoyable to watch than the first half, if I do say so.
Yeah, can say that again.
It's still not an overly high-scoring game, but it just seemed to have more energy, and it was maybe a more physical game in the second half. But both teams are still under 60 for 4 quarters of basketball, and that's for two teams that could be such high-scoring teams. That's really unusual.
It certainly has been low scoring. Second half, it's gone up a notch. Shannon Seabohm orchestrated another fourth quarter comeback. It wasn't enough in the end. They get another chance here in overtime.
They had a look at it and it just didn't pay off.
It's a game of inches. The Talbot free throw goes down. The Lightning may win. Foul call down the other end. It could have been Townsville. We'll see what happens here in overtime. Good crowd here tonight in Townsville.
Great to hear those cowbells going.
Great feature of the Townsville crowd, the cowbells. So here we go. Smith to start us off. Free basketball coming up. Williams hands it back to Smith. Two of the stars there of the game, Billings and Smith. Werung. Shook. Falls to her advantage. There's the first bucket. Kylie Shook up to 8 points. Nicholson. Sutton feeds Akuzo. Crashing the glasses, Murray.
I think Mia Murray didn't realise how much time and space she actually had for that shot, because that was a great board.
Yeah, no need to rush it. Charge, turnover.
And that is a big time play there from Loz Nicholson, because that was an open three that just went down. Did well to wall up and take that contact.
Gee, such a tough player, Nicholson, after what happened at the end of regulation.
Just got crushed and willing to put her body on the line again.
She could be sore come day one of Opal's camp on Monday.
I think it's an ice bath for Loz tonight.
Now Sutton. Trying to work around the Akuzo screen. Long two for Akuzo, drops. We're all tied up once again. Smith thought about feeding Shook. Foul calls on Billings. Collected her on the way through. First one is good for Shook. Another lead change here.
Yeah.
Big free throws for Shook. Every bucket counts now. Murray with the screen. She can fire. Falls out to Sutton. Now Nicholson's turn. Floats it up. Bobbles home. Bucket for bucket here in Townsville.
What great basketball.
It's been really fun. Shook's fouled. See some of the Townsville crowd very vocal.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Now Shook's turn to retake the lead. $11 points, 6 rebounds for the evening. After that bucket. 2 of 2. Hand off to Nicholson. Sutton. Top of the arc three. Zakuzo skies for the O board. Back inside to Zakuzo. Backing down. Who else but Billings? 27 points now in the ball game.
And did we expect anything less? Bucket for bucket.
The offense has really just light it up here in the second half. Shook now the other way. Now Townsville need to respond. Murray needed to hand it off. Shook picked it off. Hands it off to Talbot. She goes all the way, draws the foul. Big moment in the context of overtime. Chance to break this bucket-for-bucket cycle.
Yeah, this is massive. This could be the little break that they need. And Shook has been fantastic in this overtime.
Yeah, has she ever? It's been relatively quiet throughout the game, but as you said, overtime she's come alive.
Ooh, and the first shot is a miss.
Big, big miss. As you can see on the screen, hasn't quite been a night shooting from the field as the second one drops. But Talbot, as always, you know, 3 steals, 6 dimes, 9 boards. She's done a bit of everything.
She's always there. She's always doing the little things and working hard, even if it's not her shooting night.
Townsville trail by 3.
Shot clock recognition.
Blocked by Shook.
Massive from Shook there.
Big, big play.
She's been doing it both ends, Shook, offensively and defensively in this overtime period.
Yeah, massive, stepping up to the plate when it counts.
Big time play.
Sutton taking a spell. Adelaide, the chance for a crucial bucket here on this possession. Werung. Reed did so well.
That hustle defense that we know her for.
Nicholson for 3. Just off. The Lightning in control here as time expires. Can they get a bucket here to make it really hard? Fouled, Williams, and 1. What a moment. Kiana Williams had such a good first half.
And that was a brilliant take, and to be fouled really hard by Zatina on that one. I think it might take her a little while to get up.
Well, yeah, jeepers, copped a bit of a whack. Big block attempt from Akuzo. Gee, she looks in pain. Is that her ankle she's clutching at? Adelaide bench hold their breath. Could be a game-winning bucket potentially, and she looks in a lot of pain.
Never nice to see anyone get injured, and doesn't look like she's in a good way. Lana Smith helping her teammate. We hope she's all right. She's been fantastic this season for the Lightning. So Chelsea Brooke will take the free throw. Takes care of business. 6-point ball game. Makes it really hard for Townsville. Reed tries to hand it out to Murray, and Adelaide pick it off. They're going to have to foul Talbot here. And you would say at this point that Adelaide have probably done just enough if they can ice these free throws.
really hard. You're right, Steph. So Talbot to just about put it out of reach. Cowbells ring. It's been a fun night in Townsville. The first one drops. Two of two. That makes it really difficult. Timeout. So one last roll of the dice for the Fire. 8 points the margin. Is there any chance, Steph?
You never say never at this point, because 22 seconds is a really long time. If they can come down and get a quick score and a stop, either a steal or a foul, and send them to the line, hope that they miss, and then another quick couple of scores, it's doable, but it's a long stretch.
Things would need to fall their way. And you thought coming towards the end of regulation that the Fire were going to pinch it. Billings was just going bucket for bucket. She couldn't be stopped, and this game really just has been changing momentums, hasn't it?
It has been, and you look at the two teams and they're so well versed in clutch scenarios. So you couldn't really pick which way it was going to go. And Adelaide just so far in this extra period have just done enough at the last point.
And Kylie shook as well. We've sung her praises, but gee, she's been the difference here in overtime.
She has been. She was just so strong under the basket. She knew her team needed some scores. She was just so strong. Put it in and then came out with great defensive stops down the other end.
Stats on the screen now, 14 and 6, and she scored 6 or 8 here in this overtime period. It's been a 14-point overtime period so far for Adelaide. It's got to be an early three, you'd think. Murray. No good. Werung collects it. So we'll see if they look to foul here, the Fire. Keeping the Lightning honest until the final buzzer. But that'll do it. 5 on the trot for the Adelaide Lightning. They've done it the hard way. They've done it in overtime in a hostile environment. 8-point winners. How about it, Steph?
Oh, if you had told me this is how the game was going to go before the game happened, I wouldn't have believed you. I thought it was going to be one team or another, but it's been a fantastic game to watch. So much out of it. The defensive pressure, the display in overtime from Shook, she just was amazing. And then we had 27 points from Billings. She was phenomenal today, which was great to see.
Yeah, Billings was unreal. There's no doubt about it. It was almost like different players stood up at different periods of the game. And I mean, Kiana Williams as well with that huge shot just before she unfortunately went down injured. That was massive in the context of this game.
And she had such composure to make that shot, because if you saw Zatina running at you and you had to shoot that shot, you would obviously be a little bit nervous, but just still kept her eyes on the ring, made the shot, and then took the hit.
Big moment for her. Alana Smith led the way in the scoring column for the Lightning. 21 points, 11 boards. She had a double-double. And Talbot as well was fantastic as ever.
She just does a lot of extra things. So she may not be the biggest scorer, but she tries to get her teammates involved, crashes the boards, gets in the lanes, does the little things, and she's always a pleasure to watch.
If you had to pick a player of the game tonight, who would you say?
It's pretty difficult between... Oh, you've got Billings, you've got Alana Smith, who did so well, and she was nursing a couple of fouls in the first quarter and then came back on and didn't miss a beat. So I think Billings was a standout for me tonight if I had to pick someone.
I think we've got an interview down here with the Adelaide Lightning. Alana Smith, do you have us there?
Yes, I do.
Alana, great performance tonight. Well done. Hard fought in overtime. What was it like up there in a hostile environment in Townsville?
Yeah, it's always tough playing at another team's home court, and the Townsville crowd especially are very loud, and you can hear them loud and clear. But, you know, we stuck together and really fought through a grind of a game.
Top of the table at the moment, the Lightning, 5 in a row. Congratulations. How are you feeling? It seems like you've got such a great group that you've put together.
I think Sam said the same thing.
Yeah, I think we're the youngest team in the league right now, but we just have a lot of fight, and we really love playing together. We've got a really solid group of girls that just love basketball and love to be around each other, and as you can see, it's working really well for us.
Great job today, Lan. Also, you've obviously got Opal's camp coming up, and this was a hard-fought game. So what does it look like for the next couple of days for you?
Yeah, so we're straight back to Adelaide, and then we're going up against the Caps on Sunday, and then it is straight into camp on Monday. So it's a whirlwind of a few days, but it's fun, you know. That's why we do it. We love to play the game, and we're excited and ready to go.
No rest for the wicked. Thank you very much for joining us, Alana. Congratulations. Great win tonight. Go enjoy it with your teammates.
No problem. Thank you.
Alana Smith there, 21 points, 11 rebounds tonight. She was unreal, wasn't she, Steph?
She was. She didn't miss a beat. She had to take a little break with a couple of fouls early and then came straight back on and kept Adelaide alive at some points of the game, which was great.
Plenty of big performances here. Some of the highlights now from Smith, and really did feel like when they needed a bucket early as well, Smith, she was there. Akuzo with a big block. Lauren Nicholson as well was fantastic. Four Opals members out there tonight, Steph. Who do you stood out to you out of those four, do you think?
Well, they all did great things at great times, so they're all tough as nails when you look at them. Loz Nicholson got absolutely crushed on the floor and then was up straight at it and kept going at it, took a big charge. And then Steph Talbot, we spoke about her. She does all the small things, working really well. And Zatina's just coming into her own. So she's only young and she has a lot of basketball to play. So it'll be exciting to watch her as well. And then you just can't pick who the standout was, really.
Tough shooting night for both teams tonight. If you're both teams, what's the scout looking like when these teams match up again?
Well, you would essentially say, let's play like we played last time, because we kept them to, we had to go to overtime and it was 65-73, and that's a very low scoring game, even with an overtime. So essentially, you could say, we'll do what we did last time and then just do tweak a couple of things and do a couple of things a little bit better.
Well, it's been a ripper. Top of the table clash here tonight. Michaela Cox, of course, celebrating her big milestone, most cap player for the Townsville Fire. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done in the end. But the Lightning, 5 in a row. They win it by 8 points in overtime. It's been Liam Ellison alongside Steph Blitzarves. Steph, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.